I will go through the disclaimer for Healy World. This is a platform kindly provided by the company for us to share and to learn together. Yeah, so Healy World disclaimer is such that whatever information that we share today is actually for education, for us to learn from one another. Yeah, so okay, so whatever information that you learn here, please make sure that you use with discretion. So for the Healy and the MAGHEALY devices, these microcurrent devices and frequency devices, they are not meant to cure, to treat, to mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any disease or medical condition. So if should there be any need, please make sure that you go to the consult a medical professional for your needs and for your conditions. Okay. All right. Okay, now this is my disclaimer. The intention of this session here is to share my experience from using the Healy and the MAGHEALY devices. Okay, there are many ways. There are many ways to use these devices. So don't be limited and don't feel limited. Okay, so as you listen and learn from different teachers, you can adapt different practices for the best and optimal outcome for yourself. Okay, so what you hear today, don't believe everything that's shared here without applying discretion. So you have to evaluate, and the results will vary from person to person. So microcurrent and frequency, they are energy forms that's used only to harmonize and balance the bioenergetic field and the information field of a person. So it's not meant for treatment of any diseases. Okay, so we remind you again, this is a learning and a sharing session. Okay, are we ready to start? The link, okay, many of you don't see the link, huh? Okay, let me share the link again. Copy. Paste. Okay. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Today, we are going to talk about relationships. So this month is February, and in February, our theme is about relationship. So today is February the 13th. Tomorrow is February the 14th, which is Valentine's Day. So how many of you are already planning for some romantic events for tomorrow? And incidentally, yesterday, February the 12th, is what we call the Chinese Valentine's Day, you know, Chap Gome. And so therefore, today we are actually squeezed in between the Chinese and the Western Valentine's Day. Okay, so now, relationship, when you are in a good, healthy, supportive relationship, it brings about a lot of personal growth, a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, yeah. But every now and then, sometimes relationship can also give us stress because every individual is different and there could be a lot of differences that can cause conflicts. There are also toxic relationships, okay, that can be very harmful. So today, last week is week 1. So last week, Petra covered the use of creative homeopathy psyche, which is to reduce or to mitigate, let's say, stress pattern, okay? Stress as a result of being triggered by conflicts in your life. Now, today, we are going to talk about how relationship stress, okay, if we do not manage it, can actually cause our body to become sick, okay? Yeah. So for those who just joined us for the first time, Welcome to Frequency Network. For those who have been coming back regularly, we thank you for your willingness to learn, okay, and taking the use of the Healy devices so seriously, okay. I'm so happy for you. Okay, I'm Christi Wong from Singapore. I'm a certified energy profiling life coach since 2017. I started by using a semi-professional device for bioresonance, and now I have transited completely to using Healy devices, okay, as well as the MAGHEALY. All right, so today I'm going to show you how, as a life coach, how do I do the energy profiling and how do I use it to solve problems for my clients, especially problems that are related to their relationships, okay? So by training, I have also been certified as a professional counselor since 2006. This is part of the extension of my work as an educator. Okay, so by training, my career before I transit to join Healy World, it is that of a biology education. So I teach A-level biology in Singapore since 1997. So more than 25 years ago, and I'm still teaching, okay, both biology and I'm also doing wellness teaching. All right. So I'm also trained in meridian acupressure, the 5-element system, and a bit of everything. So basically, when I look at the profile of my clients, I look at it through many layers of filters and lens. So I try to look at an individual from many different angles. Okay, so today, what are we doing today? Today, I'm going to use 2 case studies. All right. In these 2 case studies, we are going to see how do we identify a psychosomatic situation. Wow, it's a big word now. What is a psychosomatic situation? Later on, I will talk about it. Yeah. So all this can be done using the Healy Resonance Analysis Report. So we are going to identify negative thoughts, negative emotions that can actually present itself eventually as a body discomfort. All right, then the final portion is to use Healy and the MAGHEALY programs to rebalance once again our mind, our spirit, and our body. Okay. Right. Okay, now the first case is somebody who came to me and said that she has severe skin problem. Yeah. Can you please mute? Disturbance. All right, so the first case is a lady who came to me and she said that she had very severe skin condition. All right. Now, how bad was the skin condition? So when I look at her, I said, I cannot see any part of your body having skin issues. She said it was her palm. Okay. Now, we know of rashes. We have heard of skin that is peeling. We have heard of sweaty palms, but hers is a blistered palm. What is a blistered palm? So instead of water coming out from the palm, which is sweaty palm, hers is actually blood fluid. You know, the yellow fluid from the blood. So it's not blood that's coming out, but the yellow fluid would ooze out from the palm. So it's very, very sticky. So that is a blistered palm. So she had it for a long time, more than a year. Okay, and she had tried many conventional methods. So she had tried to use the medication that the doctors gave. She has seen skin specialists. She had tried Chinese medicine. So she had tried many different remedies that are typical of a skin problem. So a lot of the doctors would tell her is basically a skin condition, it's a skin problem. She had tried for over a year and without success. So finally, she met somebody who is a Healy user, and a Healy user actually recommended her to use Healy. All right, so she bought the Healy because it's really a desperate and a severe situation. So diligently, she used every single program that has the word skin on it. All right, so she went through the whole entire Healy 2 programs. Anything that has the word skin, she used and she tried. And guess what? Okay, we are all hoping for the good news. Oh, okay. So her skin did not improve. Okay, she told me, I use all and none of Healy's skin programs actually work for me. Okay, now what happened was one day she had a big fight with her partner. Okay, and because of that, she decided to use the power of 3, conflict balance. And when she used the conflict balance, one thing that she noticed was the liquid on the palm actually dried up. Okay, so she does not have that sticky feeling anymore. Everything just dried up just by using the conflict balance program for the first time. This was the first time she actually used it. So she continued to use conflict balance for over a long period of time. And then eventually the hand was totally normal. So when I met her, she showed me her hands, okay? Totally normal for many months, all right? So the condition was stable, and this is how she actually resolved her situation. Okay, so this is a case where while we think it is a body physical condition, this is actually what we called psychosomatic. Okay, so psycho means psyche, which is the mind. Soma means body. So this is a mind-body interaction. So when there is an intense emotion, the body finds its way to purge out all these stresses and emotions from our body. So it will do it through different ways. It can do it through body pain. It can do it through skin rashes. It can, in this case, it was actually the blistering of the palm. Okay, it can be done in the form of a headache. Okay, all sorts of body issues. Okay, so this is what we call psychosomatic, mind-body response, or a mind-body connection, or a mind-body interaction. So basically, how we think here in our mind will actually, in either the short run or the long run, will actually have an impact on our body. Okay, so now we go to the second case. All right, yeah. So the second case came to me in this, presented in a form of a cough. Okay, so when I met this person, how are you? How have you been? Yeah, so, and this person will start to pour out, what has been happening. And he told me that he had been coughing for more than 3 months, and he has seen the doctors as usual. All right, because anyone who came to me with any body issues and all that, I will always advise them to first go and see the doctor. Okay, now what I do is when they run out of their usual solutions, okay, in this case, he had been coughing and he had tried all the conventional methods, I will make sure that they have gone through and see a professional medical doctor. And in this case, he had done all that. Okay, he had done his blood work. Okay, his blood test was good. They couldn't find any form of bacteria, no fungus, no viruses, no parasites. All the blood indicators were normal. So there was nothing suspicious in the blood. Okay, he did his cardio test to test his heart, to test his lungs. Everything was good and clear. Okay, the doctor suspected a bacterial infection, gave him a antibiotics, which he had dutifully completed. All right. Then he went back to the doctor again, and the doctor said, maybe you're allergic to something, but I do not know what that something is. All right. And I've seen all your indicators. Everything was good. There are no more solutions for you. So I can't do anything else for you. So I handle cases like this. Yeah. So when they can't find anything else, when they come to me, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm still coughing. So they have phlegm and all that. So it's a normal cough. But I said, if your cough is clear, if it's not green or thick yellow and all that, which are signs of infection. So if it's just mucus, clear, clean mucus and all that, but it just keep on happening, and he could not do anything about it. Okay, now, what I'm doing here, I want to make it clear that I'm not doing any diagnosis, and we cannot use Healy devices to do any diagnosis, treatment, or cure. Now, what is a diagnosis? When we say a diagnosis is when the doctor knows exactly which type of cells, which type of tissue, or even which blood vessel, the exact location, the exact problem, okay? Yeah, so if it's a heart, they know which valve, is a tissue, they know which part. That is a diagnosis, okay? You know exactly where is the problem. But here, what I'm doing as a life coach is I solve the problem by doing an investigation. Okay, I try to find out where is the problem, and let's see how to go about finding solution and fixing the issue. Okay, we want to find out where is the problem. So I approach this as a scientist. Yeah, so I'm analytical. So I want to see where the problem lies. Yeah, so what I do is I will go to the HealAdvisor Analyze app. Under resonance analysis, we have all Healy programs, 27, okay? Now, I ask myself, if I'm doing an investigation, there must be a hypothesis. So my hypothesis would be, okay, what would I expect? Okay, since the doctor has cleared everything, yeah? So if truly there are still remnants of allergy, infection, okay, or cough affecting the lungs, okay, what would I see? Where would be the bioenergetic disharmony? Okay, I can only tell from Healy where is the disharmony. Yeah. Okay, so there must be a hypothesis. So if there is an infection, what kind of programs will surface when I do a Healy analysis? Okay, I would see defense, which is the immune defense system. Impurities, because if there's bacteria, fungus, viruses, there will be proteins that are produced that are actually toxins to us. Bacteria might surface. If it's a virus, there will be a fever, so shiver might appear. Okay, if zapper appear, there might be parasites. If friendly flora appear, this is the gut bacteria, so there might be some impurities, sensitivity, or even bad bacteria that will trigger the friendly flora to appear. Okay, now, if it's an allergy, what would I expect to see? I would expect to see sensitive. Okay, now sensitive is very broad. A person can be sensitive to a human being, all right, being irritated by a human being, that's also sensitive. Sensitive could also mean that you're sensitive to what people say to you. You can be sensitive to pollen. You can be sensitive to dust, okay, to food, to temperature, hot, cold changes, and all that. Okay, so if it's a food allergy, food imbalance may appear, sensitivity again, or meridian allergy may appear. Okay, now if it's a cough, breath of life may appear, okay, lung, large intestine for meridians may appear, or bioenergetic harmony, lungs may appear. Okay, so this is based on what I understand about the program. So I would expect to see this. Okay, so I just go by, okay, compare the results. So I will do the resonance analysis, all Healy program to get the top 5. Okay, so the top row there, what you see is this is what we call the top 5, the main 5, or the big 5. Yeah. So we have deep cycle, 60%. Then you have the meridians, 55%, well-being, and then meridians again, and job. So by looking at the top 5, I will look for those that are 58% or perhaps 60% or higher. So usually the normal range is around 45 to 55 based on my observation from scanning people. So I will be alerted if I see anything that is 58% or higher. So that would be current. That means based on their discomfort, that is where it's focused. All right. So it's focused here. This is the current, and then the rest is actually in the background. Yeah. So deep cycle was 60%. All right. So then each of these lists, I will go and do the analysis again to get the top 5, the minor 5 or the small 5. So under deep cycle, which 5 will appear, meridian, which 5 will appear, well-being, which 5, and then meridian again, all the 5, and then job for all the 5. Okay, so we call this the 5 by 5 analysis. Get the big 5 first, and then get the secondary 5 for each of the lists that is highlighted. Okay, all right, so I bring what I mentioned just now to compare against the results over here. Okay, so first, infection, I expect to see all this. Okay, none of this appear. So the doctor is correct. They have done everything. There is no infection, nothing in the blood. Okay, so you look at all this, yeah, so there is no food imbalance, no allergy and all that, which is correct. That means what the doctor find out from the blood test, from the cardio and all that, yeah, is correct. There was no infection, even after taking the antibiotics and all that. Okay, what is there is sensitive. Okay, you see one here, sensitive. So is irritated or sensitive to something. And then there's one here which is related to his cough, which is actually a stress to his respiratory system, which we see here in the deep cycle, breath of life. Okay, so the cough is indicated here, and then there's some sensitivity and all that. Okay, now, so based on this, majority of these, I would say that this is not the usual way of us understanding the cough as an infection or an irritation. So I suspect that this cough here could actually be another case of psychosomatic response. That means it is certain emotional stresses that he is going through, and the body is purging out all this stress in the form of phlegm and in the form of a cough. All right. Okay. So then I'll go deeper with my suspicion and I'll look further. Okay. Now, from what I know of this person is an active person who will do yoga, who will swim, who will go to the gym regularly a few times a week. But yet I would see free flow, I would see circulation. Yeah. So the doctor checked the heart, the cardio, and everything is fine, but yet free flow actually appear twice that is related to heart and circulation. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with the heart. So this help me to see that this part here is actually not related to the heart condition, okay, or the heart function. Now, what else will I look at? I will look at the two that repeat itself. Okay, anything that repeat 2 times, 3 times is actually hinting to us that, okay, pay attention there. So the next thing that I will pay attention to is actually the meridian. You see, meridian appear twice, and meridian as a whole is about the flow of bioenergy. So there seems to be blockages in the flow of meridian. So this is the first one, and that's the second one, twice it appeared. So therefore, That will be for me. Okay, pay attention to the meridians. Then next you see over here, spirit, body, mind, spirit. People will ask me, what's the difference between mind and spirit? Okay, mind is when you have a conflict or you have an argument, okay, and the words play many, many times repeatedly in your mind. Okay, it's quite temporary. So it can be 1 day or 2 days, you're bothered by something because of some conflicts. Okay, then after that, it will subside. Okay, yeah. So if I see spirit on top, it's not a good sign, but the percentage is still okay. All right, it's not 60, 70, or 80%. All right, but spirit here tells me that there are some negative emotions that has been going on for some time. Okay, so spirit is more slightly long-term, a few months to even a few years or a few decades. Their spirit is their outlook of life. Okay, so they can be depressive or they can be hopeless, despair. Okay, these are under the category of spirit. When it comes to mind, it's frustration, it's anger, yeah, it's what else? Okay, that is under mind. Mind is quick, they come and go, but spirit is running underground and it can last for a long period of time. Okay, so spirit is on top, so that further reinforce what I think that this might actually be a psychosomatic situation. And then if I look at the back over here, job, tension, fatigue, exhaustion. Exhaustion system means that it is a long-term, long period of exhaustion. Exhaustion acute means it's short-term. Maybe momentarily, there are certain events in your life and it can just last a few weeks and then it will disappear. Okay, so in this case, I can see here that the energy is low. What we want to see is somewhere between 45 to 55. Lower than that means that the energy is quite low over here. So what I can feel here is, based on this, is a burnout situation. Yeah. So yeah. And when you come back to this, then I will see that, okay, circulation is poor. It's like oxygen is so little. And then breathing, okay, cannot breathe properly. So it gives a very suffocated kind of sensation here. Okay, that you can actually feel that this person, although very active, but there's so much blockages of bioenergy, the spirit is low, this person is so drained, energetically drained, emotionally drained, perhaps, and then suffocating. Okay, yeah. So that's why I look into psyche. What emotions is going on here? Now, meridians, according to the traditional Chinese medicine, okay, it is related or associated with emotions. So these are generally 5 categories of emotions that we group the meridians. Okay, now let's look at the meridians. All right, so grief and sadness can actually cause blockages to the lungs and the large intestine. Okay, so is there lung and large intestine? There's one here. So I put 1 asterisk here. Next one, okay, stress and joy, lack of joy will affect what? Affect the heart. Although there's no heart over here, but there's circulation here. So I lump the two together, heart and circulation, okay? And then there's hormones here. So the hormones here could be a stress hormone, imbalance of hormones and all that. So that can be actually controlled by the triple warmer. Then worry and anxiety will cause blockage to the spleen, stomach meridians. So there is a stomach meridian here that showed up. And then anger and depressive feelings will actually cause blockage to the liver and the gallbladder. And now you see liver, you see gallbladder, and you see another liver here. Okay, so these particular emotions here, we see 3 stars. And what else to take note of is that under the watch meridian, the liver is 62%. All right, so anything above 60% to me is an orange flag or a red flag. Yeah, so you can see that there is a certain intensity of emotions over here, this category. Then fear is related to the kidneys. So over here, there is one kidney here. Yeah, okay. Now, where is the other kidney? I put here one more kidney over here, another star. This is actually having to do with this one, the hormones, okay? Because the kidney also is controlled or is related or associated with our hormonal glands, okay? Our endocrine glands, yeah? So that's why I put another one over here. All right, so from here I can see that, okay, this person has all of the five, all intermixed together, but what is predominant is actually anger and depressive feeling, okay, some fear, and then stress and lack of joy. Okay, now, another thing which I want to take note is 66% and the 62% over here. So where is the organ meridian? Okay, now if this is the spine, all right, if this is your spine, the organ meridian runs directly over this spine here. So it's directly parallel on this spine here, on top of it here. So when I see organ, 66% organ meridian, and then I see nerve, two nerves, anything that appear twice, I will pay attention. There is a nerve here and a balanced nerve here. Now, nerve usually has two indications for me. One nerve is pain. One nerve is pain. The other nerve is trauma. Okay, trauma. So anything that is traumatic, either a physical trauma, but usually emotional trauma, okay, the nerve will be affected. Yeah. So I asked this person, do you have back pain or spinal pain? Any spinal issues? And this person said, yes. Why do I ask that question? Because I suspect pain, and this organ meridian here, 66%, anything 60% and above would have displayed symptoms in their body. All right, so organ meridian running parallel to the spine, and I see nerve. So I asked the question, the person said, yes, he has back pain. And I said, yeah, that's the reason why I go and do yoga. And the yoga helps a little bit to relieve the pain. Okay, so we can see from here, there are telltale signs over here. Okay, now the spine is actually related to bones. Okay, so the kidney controls our bones. Kidney controls the brain, the kidney meridians. Yeah, so that's why I put another indicator over here. Now, back problem, if you see from the emotional or the psyche point of view, when a person has lower back problem, is the lack of support. Okay, so they feel that they lack support in their life. So that's why that is that telltale sign. Yeah, so now I'm looking at it from the emotional perspective. Okay, all right. Okay, now, how else can we show the mind-body connection? Shoeless socks. If you go and scan the person, if the person has emotional issues and mind-body issues, you can actually see it from the analysis of the Schussler salts. Okay. Now the top here under present state, it will show what is happening in the mind. Anything that is bothering that person over a long period of time will over time affect the body. So at the bottom here of the report, you will usually see which are the body parts that are affected after a long period of hanging on or dwelling on a certain emotions. Okay, all right. So what do I see when I scan this person? Okay, so after the scan results for Schussler salt showed this thing. I didn't pull out all five. I pull out what is relevant to his situation. 66%, anything that's 60% or 58% and above, I want to take note. All right. So you can see here that he has inner restlessness due to unprocessed stress. Okay, so there are certain stresses that unprocessed means he does not let go, he does not digest it. That's why you have digestive issue. And then, yeah, so it's just nagging him. Yeah. And it affects his, which organs? Respiratory organs. So now you see why he is coughing. 56% here, torn inside without drive. This drive here is about the work, because when he sit down and he's talked to me, then he started to talk about the issues that he's facing. He's facing a few issues. At work, he said that everybody in his organization depends on me. Okay? Yeah. So listen to them. So he said everybody at work, his whole team depends on him. Everybody need his help, and he has to go and solve the problem. So you see at work, he feels alone. He feels unsupported, the back problem. Yeah, because everybody has to come to him. Okay, so that take away his drive. Yeah, which we see under job here, his exhaustion, his tension, his fatigue. So whenever he goes to work, he feels tired, exhausted, unmotivated, no drive. So this over a long time will affect the mucous membranes. Where are the mucous membranes? The mucous membranes, you can find it in the entire lining of the intestine. You also find it in the entire lining of the respiratory tract. Okay, so that's where you have mucus. Okay, whether it comes out through the nose, whether it comes out in the form of phlegm. Phlegm are actually all these mucus. Yeah, so it is affecting his mucus, affecting his respiratory organ, his lungs, and then therefore coughing. Then heart. So we see here circulation here. His heart is okay from the tests. He had done his cardio test. Nothing wrong with the heart. Just that the energy there is disharmonized. Okay. And then nerves. So it affects the nerve. And that's how you see that there are two nerves here that appear in the report over time. Then what else does he have? 51% here, fear of the future, existential fears affecting the bones. Where are the bones? The spine. Degeneration of the spine. Okay, so Schussler salt, I use Schussler salt for psychosomatic responses to see whether or not there is a connection with all the areas, the symptoms that is being displayed and the emotions. Okay, all right. So then, once I know that this is very likely a mind-body interaction, then I will look at the rest of the reports. So last week, Petra talked about creative homeopathy psyche, how to use that. Okay, so when you do the analysis, you will see all the stress pattern that comes out. So based on the person's stress pattern, 78, so you see it's very high, it's one of the highest already. Feeling extorted, self-destruction, okay, rejection to the point of self-destruction, okay, feeling of serfdom. When I first read the report, I have no idea what serfdom is. When I check, serfdom means slavery. So that is how he actually feel. All right, slavery. Slavery in what sense? In his workplace, he feels like a slave to his teammates. At home, okay, he feels like a slave because you have to do your housework, you have to take care of the children, and then in his own family, one of the parents is sick and he has to bring them to the hospital, okay, for checkup and all that. And his other siblings refused to help him at all. So he felt all alone. So it's a total slavery here. Okay, yeah. Then you can see financial worries. You can see the mental exhaustion. Okay, and then courage about his financial worry. You see here, courage to be prosperous. And then 61% here, a courage to trust the universe to achieve his goals. So you can roughly see what's happening in this person's life over here. All right, so we can see here that stresses in relationships, strains in relationships, can cause us to fall sick, right? And then in the long term may even kill us. Okay, yeah. So what do we do with all this? Yeah, so this is what we can do at home for our own family members, for ourselves, to just check our mental health, all right? Yeah, and see where we are. Now, the other one that can actually show the mind-body connection is actually the meridian analysis. So if you have the MAGHEALY meridian program, then you can run the analysis, which is about 4 to 7 minutes. So from the meridian scan, it will scan all your 12 meridians on the left and right side of your body. Then after that, it will scan acupoints, which are all the dots here, to see exactly where is the blockage. And then after that, it goes on to identify the negative emotions. And then the frequency give the solutions either from meridians or creative homeopathy to actually harmonize the meridians. Okay, so how does disease develop over time? Okay, now usually there is a trigger event. So from the trigger event, okay, it depends on how we see the situation. If you see it as good, all is well. But if we see it as bad or sad or negative, then what happens that it will trigger negative feelings, right? Grief, anger, unforgiveness, hatred, and this will then block the meridians. So when it blocks the meridians, the energy flow, the bioenergy flow will be disrupted, and then this will actually disrupt the blood flow. So when the blood flow to certain parts of the body, whether it's a cell or organs, is disrupted, those tissues and cells around there cannot get enough oxygen, cannot get enough nutrients, okay, and the toxins cannot be removed. So over time, the tissues, the organs over there will be affected. All right, yeah. So then it results in a decline in function, and then over time, symptoms will appear. Okay, so what we are doing here is to detect our negative emotions as early as possible. Yeah, so what we do by using the frequency, either in the form of microcurrent or frequency, it is to neutralize away this kind of negative feelings. Okay, so every thought, every emotion has a frequency, a wave. So here, we neutralize it, we remove it so that it will not be embedded, pushed into the body. Yeah, so actually nothing is forgotten. So everything is pushed into the body, and then the body will have to find a way to purge all this. And then it usually presents itself as a lot of pain, discomfort, all kinds of discomfort in the body. Okay, now this is to show you the meridian analysis reports. So you can see from the report over here, this part will show you your emotions. Okay, the top part here will show you which acupoint exactly is the blockage that is the result of the emotion over here. All right, so where do we keep all these emotions? So sometimes people think that, hey, I don't feel anything, I don't feel anger anymore, but actually all this has been pushed into different parts of the body. Yeah. Okay, so in this case, this kind of anger leads to hatred, and then over time, the symptoms that appear in the person is depression. Okay, so the person become depressive for many, many years. So this is one of the results that was identified from one of the analysis. Okay, now another one is here, which you can see over here. These are the emotions. Okay, this is a spouse, marriage, relationship. Okay, the sexual performance of the female partner. So what happens is there is frustration and disappointment in their sex life, and this female partner feels that she is not performing well. Okay, so what happens over here is the liver acupoint number 10 get blocked as a result of this. Okay, now eventually the marriage fall apart, and there was infidelity in the marriage. Although the person is divorced more than 30 years, many decades later, you'll find that this thing, the Healy device, is still able to identify and manage to find this in the information field of the person. All right, so nothing is actually removed or discarded. It does not disappear. It is somewhere. So all these kind of negative emotions is still stored and found in the information field. That's why 30, 40 years later, we can still scan and read it, and we can still find it. All right. Now, this kind of emotions, it will get stuck in the body. So it's either, if it's a very intense emotion, what happens is the discomfort and pain may just purge out within, let's say, in 2 weeks or in 1 month, 2 months, everything will come out. Okay, now sometimes if it's not intense, but it is sustained over a long period of time, okay, so it may appear 10 years, 12 years, 15, 30 years later. Okay, and this is a case where breast issues appear after more than 30 years. Okay, yeah, so that was the time when we did all this, and we found out what was the root cause of some of these issues. Yeah, so we can use the Healy to find out the why. You know, why things are the way it is. Okay, why is the body or the health why did it become like that? Okay, but we cannot use the Healy to go and, oh, therefore treat it and then expect the issue to go away. No, you still have to see a medical doctor and get the conventional, the proper treatment to solve the problem when it becomes a physical problem. Okay, when it becomes a physical problem. Okay, so yeah, so I use the Healy for detection, to do my investigation. So as a life coach, that's where I have communication with them, help them see where is the underlying root cause, and then after that, advise them to go and seek the proper care. All right. Now, so what we can see here is this kind of body issues or symptoms. Okay, if you look at it, if you work backwards and look at it, it is actually a lot of bad thoughts, bad memories that are actually retained in the body. Okay, so over a long period of time, it becomes symptomatic diseases and all that. But once it reaches the body state, it is advisable and recommended to go and see the doctor. Okay, but for those who have not reached the physical state, the best prevention is at the beginning. Okay, so where is the beginning? The beginning is from the thought, from the trigger event itself. So monitor your own health, mental health, your own thoughts and all that. So the moment you catch that you have been dwelling on certain negative, or if there is a conflict in any relationship, whether it's spouse or with children or with family members or with colleagues, okay, any kind of relationship stress, okay, you can and should actually start to do your analysis, do your vibration, yeah, clear it as much as possible. Yeah, so now we have access to very good tools like Healy and the MAGHEALY to actually help us to clear. All right, so if we use the frequency to clear, then it will not require the body to work its way to purge things out through all this aches and pain and other symptoms. All right, so the longer it is stored in the body, then the worse, okay, will be the damage that is done to the body. All right, okay, so in your Healy 2 Red app, you can find all these programs over here, and then you can also use this using the HealAdvisor Analyze app, which is the blue app. Okay, you can just analyze any of these and then just do the vibration of the list. Okay, so I won't be reading through. You can just take note of this and go and look for the programs and do your all Healy to see which are the ones that are recommended for you, and then you follow that. Okay, then the other programs that you can use is the HealAdvisor Analyze Blue app with the Healy for resonance database analysis. Okay, so there are so many over here which you can actually do the scans and see which are the ones, which are the lists that has 58% or higher, and that those are the lists that then you can do the vibration. Duration of the vibration is entirely up to you. So you can use any duration that you wish, whether you want to just use 2 minutes, 50 seconds, or whether you want to do 38 seconds, 7 times followed by 27 minutes. All these are all possible. Or whether you want to use 1 hour, 4 hours, 9 hours is entirely up to you. Okay, use and then monitor and see your situation. Okay, so how would you feel as you are using, if let's say you have a lot of thoughts, negative thoughts in your mind, as you are using and vibrating, you will find that all these thoughts that are swimming in your head will slowly subside. Okay, so if something is psychosomatic, that means if the symptom is because of intense emotions that a person is going through, as you do the vibration, the symptoms will actually improve. Okay, if it's not, that means it's something more serious, it may not show much improvement. Okay, yeah. So that's where you have to go and get proper care. All right, so you can use coach to put in your desired statement, your focus text for your health, for your relationship. Okay, yeah, essential oils has been covered before by Petra, so you can also use the essential oils to do your scan. Okay, now next week, Petra will cover plant power. So she will talk about how to use plant power for yourself. Okay, so plant power is also helping us in terms of our emotional stability and emotional wellness. Okay, now if you have MAGHEALY, so these are the programs that you can use in MAGHEALY, whichever edition that you have. Okay, you don't always use the same programs. Try to use different programs, because if you have been using the same programs, your body have been cleared by all that already. So use new programs that you have not used before, because it may contain frequencies that you have not used before, and that might be helpful. All right, so you can just get a screenshot, and after this, go through all these programs over here. Yeah, and you can try them. Okay, now vagus is for you to relax. Nerve is especially good for trauma. Yeah. And if it's stress that is because of work, you can use business suite. There is self-confidence, there's motivational boost. So these are the programs that you can also use to help yourself overcome work stress. Okay, all right, so I've come to the end. So with our 2 wonderful devices here, happiness is just at our fingertips. So we cannot escape or run away from clashes, conflicts with people in our lives. Okay, sometimes they bring a lot of joy. Sometimes, you know, it can be frustrating. Okay, but with these devices, we can at any time when a trigger event happened, do the scan, do the vibration. Yeah, so very soon you will have a happy mind, happy spirit, and happy body. Okay, so I hope that this session has been useful for you. Okay, go and try it out. Use it with for yourself, within your family. Yeah, so that you can further enhance your relationship. Okay, enhance your mental wellness as well. All right. So if there are any questions, let me see. You can type in your questions. Okay, otherwise we will see you again next week, same time. Thank you.
One question, Christi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, you were saying about the duration, like I use 38 seconds and 2 minutes 50 seconds. Is it okay? Or I should use 38 seconds and then 27 minutes only?
Okay, any of the duration, 2 minutes, 50 seconds, if you do 3 times consecutively, is usually for something that is urgent. You want it fast to actually come down. So you can use the 2 minute, 50 seconds, you can use it 3 times consecutively. Okay, so all other like the 38 seconds stimulation 7 times and followed by 1 time 27 minutes, that's a standard that is suitable for everybody. Yeah, so you have to look at the percentage. For me, I find that if the percentage is very high, let's say if it's in the 70%, okay, so all this I would use a longer period of time, like 4 hours or even 9 hours. All right, so when you use a longer duration, is the support. Okay, so if you want to stay stable, emotionally stable throughout the day, I would use a longer time. So it helps me, okay, to stay stable, calm, peaceful for a longer period of time. Yeah, but if the thoughts is nagging at you and all that, you can use a short duration just to quickly get rid of it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Christi.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Okay, any more? For jaw problem, okay, for jaw problem, you can use local stimulation, the one that is for pain. Okay, program 1, 2, 3, program 3. Okay, so under program 3, local stimulation. Okay, program 3, local stimulation, the one that has the sign of a tooth. So you can use your gel electrodes, place it here. If not, you can place the gel electrode behind your ear over here. Yeah, so that will actually help you, just 20 minutes of stimulation. Backache. Backache, you can also use local stimulation. Okay, yeah. For backache, you have to do your all Healy programs. 27 all Healy, right? Then you have to look at what is the top 5. Okay, if the top 5 come out is vitalization, bioenergetic vitalization, okay, it is due to degeneration. All right, so if it's degeneration, you may want to use the vitalization with the digital nutrition that is for bones and all that to stimulate the repair. And if it comes out like organ meridian, bladder meridian for your backache, then it is the circulation of the bioenergy. So there's a lot of blockages there. So you need to then use the meridian to promote the flow. All right, okay. Yeah, lower back, lumbar, and all that. Now, if it comes up for you, let's say if the all Healy comes up for you, chakra, okay, especially solar plexus, the sacral, okay, that is the lower back. So it would be a blockage of your chakra. Okay, not? So that's why it all depends on the all Healy 27. So that is the most important because every one of us is different. The cause is different. So therefore, you have to use the all Healy for the device to actually identify where is your greatest disharmony. So from there, I will do the investigation. I'll work backwards. So based on what they give, I will know where is the problem. Is it the chakra blockage? Is it the meridian blockage? Or is it the bone degeneration that's the issue? Okay, or is it nerve? Is it a pinched nerve? Yeah, so it could be a sciatica and all that. So I make my deduction. Okay, I mean, when I talk to my clients, I make my deduction based on the reports that come out. Yeah, so I do not advise or tell them what to do until I have seen the full analysis. Can you press the acupuncture point? Yes, yes, yes. So when you do the meridian analysis, it gives you the exact point, right? You can use needle acupuncture, you can use cupping, you can use pressure to just go and press those points. Okay, if not, you can use microcurrent. Yeah, so there are more than one ways. You can also use heat, infrared. So there are many, many ways. Okay, so a knee cartilage problem. Okay, I cannot give advice simply based on a knee cartilage problem. Okay, I will always know that, okay, the person's body has presented symptoms. Okay, so before I give anything, I will look at the, what I call the 5x5 analysis. So after I do the 5x5 analysis, then only I'll know where the disharmony of energy started, then only you work backwards from there. Yeah. Okay.
Can I
Then,
ask a question? Can I ask
yeah.
a question?
Oh, sure, sure.
Uh, I, I am calling from Kolkata, Tapan Kumar
Mm,
case. I am 84 years old. Last 2
mm,
years, I have got very amazing results with Healy. And
wonderful.
very recently, I got some problems. I was detected hernia. Along with that, I have got a weight loss. So I was taking a lot of programs. After yesterday's program, last week's program, from Madam Petra, I was doing so many items at a time because I had weight loss, and I am feeling thirsty as well because I was taking too many programs probably. So I have
Mm,
stopped it for a week. Could you suggest what should I do for this, particularly this hernia and this?
okay. Regardless of what is the symptom, you must always do the resonance analysis, the blue app, right? The first one. Okay. All Healy program, go and do the analysis. Okay.
Okay.
Then what you do is after it comes out the 5, you go and analyze the secondary analysis of the 5 that comes out. So when you look at the secondary analysis, anything that is 60% or more that is highlighted, you use the red app to run that program. So instead of randomly using all programs, so many different programs, okay, let the Healy detect where is the disturbance and then use the programs that appear more than 60%. Or if you don't have 60%, it will be 58%, 59%. Those are the programs that you can use the rate app to run.
Thank you. Somebody also suggested me like that. I was
Yes.
taking too many programs and I have stopped it from last 2 days. This is the third day. I have stopped all the programs because probably I was doing too many. So I have given a pause for a week. Am I right? And
I
then
have to
start again the way you
see.
have to.
Yeah, so I cannot advise until I have seen your reports, the analysis reports. Yeah, then I will also have to consider what are the medical conditions that you have, yeah, in totality. Yeah, so it's not fair and it's not accurate to just advise like this. Yeah.
That's all right. I understand that. And
Yeah.
what I will do, and I will be joining this group immediately.
Mhm.
Yes, last week I got a link from Petra, madam, and I have taken all the medical tests and everything, so I will try to give it there. So if you can answer your suggestions, that will be most welcome.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you. Any
Thank
more?
you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for your question. Okay. There's a question. Can I go for 4 hours instead of short duration 7 times? The short duration, 38 seconds or 70 seconds and all that is for stimulation. Okay, so if you're a new user, it would be good to do your stimulation first, okay, before you use a longer duration. But if you have been using the Healy for quite a long time, Okay, you can skip the stimulation and then go straight to the longer duration that you want. Yeah. Okay, but once in a while, it will be good to do your stimulation. But I also understand from people who use every day that sometimes you're in a rush and then you don't have time to do the 7 times stimulation. So under those circumstances, you can actually use the long duration straight away. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, I'll stop the recording.